What is up, everybody? It's Dynamic here, and welcome back to another MLW video. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about a pretty specific thing going on in MLW right now, which is the injury of Pat Baalman. Obviously, if you guys don't know, he is playing on a torn ACL right now. It was revealed in the Gators and Wildcats series, and seeing this blew my mind, so I knew that I had to get him on the channel. I had to interview him, talk with him about this injury, honestly, really just diving deep into what Pat's mindset is right now and how it's going to help him if the Wildcats make the playoffs. You know, we're still early in Slate 5, so there's going to be a lot of things that need to happen for the Wildcats to make the playoffs or to miss the playoffs. So we're not living in that reality yet. But for right now, the questions I asked him were based on the Wildcats making the playoffs, which is definitely a possibility. But before we get to the Pat Baalman interview, if you came here just for that, you can skip to this timestamp. I'll put it on the screen right now. But I'd like to talk about the Wildcats as a team first of all. So the Wildcats are going into the playoffs hopefully as a 7-8 team right now. They have a pretty good chance though, because a lot of the teams that they could be tied up with, they could actually improve over them. Even though, you know, right now they are like in 5th place. If they were able to tie with the Predators and Magic, they'd have the tiebreaker above them. So that's something that's interesting to think about. But I think the main thing with this team is just seeing how each player is going to progress. Now, Pat will not be hitting, and we'll talk about that more in the interview, but he will not be hitting for the rest of the season, which is definitely going to hurt them because he's probably been their best hitter up to this point in this year. Now, let's talk about the Gators series. I really like the way that Sean Hornberger played. I think he had a lot of good at-bats. Kyle Schultz as well. He was one of those guys where he was making contact with the ball. He was making plays on defense, being a good leader. I like the way Ty Fresnick played as well. Liam Jackson, some of those role player hitter guys, I think they were doing a great job. And then Jackson Pearson as well. I do think he did a pretty good job. I mean, I know it wasn't his best game, but you have a lot of these guys for Kyle that you like. You like to see him out there, and even though Jackson Pearson probably didn't have his best pitching series, I really think he did enough for me to look at him and be like, okay, we've got a player here who knows what he's doing. So obviously, this team has a lot of guys that Kyle has a ton of faith in, a lot of guys that I think you're going to like to see coming into the playoffs. They're a young team, but I think they have the experience to go all the way. It wouldn't completely shock me. They're going to have a couple hard series if they do make the playoffs, but so far this team has just been through the ringer. They've had a lot of very weird series coming into the second half of the season. They got swept by the Eagles, were able to win a series in Slate 4, and now in Slate 5, lose to the Gators 1-2. So their momentum's a little janky, but I have confidence in the Wildcats. And now here is the interview with Patrick Baalman. All right, everybody, we are here now with Patrick Baalman. We talked a lot about this video about the Wildcats this season, how it's been going for them. So we're going to get into brass tacks here. We got the man himself, Patrick Baalman, Wildcats starting pitcher, all-star, done a lot of great things so far this year. I want to start out with a question that you've probably been asked a lot, but I'm just going to get into it. The ACL. What's going on, man? You're playing through a torn ACL right now. Like, just tell me about that story. Just like, where did you get to the point where you're like, man, I'm going to play through this?
Yeah, so it was, I think, late June, literally a week before the All-Star game. I was playing some pickup ball and just tore it. Full tear of the ACL, almost all my menisci torn. So my knee was basically just destroyed. And obviously most people would, go to the doctor, get an MRI, get surgery. And I was hesitant to because I knew that was a possible outcome. I knew that torn ACL, no one plays through that. And to be fair, they probably shouldn't. I'm not going to act like it's easy playing through this. It's very painful. But that's how much I love the game. Love the Wildcats, love MLW, love football in general. But, so it's funny. In the All-Star game, literally that was 5, 6, 7 days after the tear. So you can see me when I'm jogging out, I'm terrified that things gonna pop out. When I got a base hit run to first, I was terrified. But yeah, it's not fun. It's not ideal, but it's better than not playing on it at all. If you know me personally, you know that I like to play through injuries. Doctors don't recommend it, but it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of respect there. I mean, we've never really seen that serious of an injury in MLW and a player play through that. I'm sorry to hear that for sure, because that definitely does suck, but it says a lot about you and your character that you were like, man, I got to finish the season. Like, we got to play through. And when I was watching your guys' last series against the Gators, I saw you take a ball to first plate. And then I forget who it was. It might have been like Chadwick slid in. I got a little nervous for a second, but yeah, no, those are scary. But I want to shift gears here. You've been in kind of a bit of a pitching battle for the whole season, pretty much. It hasn't really been resolved 100%. You have been the starting guy. Talk to me about that battle with Jackson Pearson. I've known from playing sports that, obviously there's competition within the team, but at the end of the day, you are a team. So just talk to me through what happened with that.
Yeah, so first off, Jackson has had a phenomenal year pitching, and I know that people have gotten on him in the past about being inconsistent and whatnot, but he's had an incredible year. It's hard to blame for the Chicago series allowing that many, because the ball was getting roughed up pretty bad. Like, Jeremy had the same issues. But if Kyle would have told me that Jackson started game one, I would have not had any issues with that. Obviously, I'm a competitor, as you can tell, playing through stuff. I love playing the game. So obviously, I'd love to pitch as much as I can, but if you know me, you know that I love winning more. So if Jackson's the guy, if he's getting the job done, I'm totally more than happy with him being the guy. So as long as one of us are getting it done, especially if we get in this postseason, hopefully both of us can get the job done as well, have that variety. But yeah, obviously I wish I was pitching better. It is annoying at times, with the long ball and trying to find what I need to do better, whether that's pitch more out of the zone, find a new pitch, this and that. But overall, I just love the game. So not too upset by it, but hopefully we just keep on pitching well.
Yeah, no, for sure. And once again, you're not exactly healthy right now, so it's not going to be easy to continue that. But you mentioned the playoffs, and I do want to talk about that. You guys, even though you lost the last series 1-2, you find yourselves in a decent position because you have the tiebreaker over the Magic, you have the tiebreaker over the Predators. There's some other elements, obviously, that could get a little interesting, that could find you guys out of the playoffs. But personally, I think you'll find yourself into the playoffs. Talk to me about, what does Kyle talk to you guys about before playoffs? Is there a change from the regular season to playoff wiffle ball?
Right after the Chicago series, he had a little group meeting, and he's like, we have a good chance of making it in as long as everything doesn't go against us.
Yeah.
And if we get it in, I think that things are starting to come together a little bit. I still don't think we've reached our full potential yet. I feel like everyone's been good at certain spots, and then other guys maybe not so much at certain spots. We all haven't really come together yet. I think we all can come together at one time. That would be great. Kyle stepped up huge on defense. It's been incredible seeing the runs he saved on defense this year. Jackson's pitched phenomenal. Sean is starting to find it. You don't see all the at-bats in Chicago, but he was by far having the best at-bats. Maybe out of anyone there. And I was watching a lot of at-bats on the sideline, so I know. But yeah, I think if we can all come together at one time, I think everyone's starting to click a little bit. If we can get into the playoffs, I'm excited for our chances, but we got to hope a lot of things go our way.
For sure. Yeah, so you mentioned Sean. I kind of want to talk about that. Obviously, he hasn't had the rookie season that you would want from a first overall pick from a statistics point of view. But talk to me, where does your confidence lie in Sean?
So, my confidence lies from, I've seen him do it before in different tournaments. And I can say last year, I was in a similar boat as him. A lot of people would say that I didn't have the first overall pick numbers, and that's fair to say. But it just takes a little bit. It's a different style of game. I play a lot of different styles, and I tell people that this one might be the hardest in terms of just the mound distance. The pitchers in this league are just better and better. But I think he's starting to find it, and I think once he's getting that confidence more and more, he's just going to keep on getting better and better. And we'll need him if we get in the playoffs. We'll need him to step up for sure. So I've seen him do it before. I think he's starting to get that confidence. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
For sure. All right, Pat. One more question for you. So, we talked about the torn ACL and playing through that injury. I want to talk about NWA a bit and how that's going to affect you, because in NWA, you allow there to be pinch runners. So is that something, are you going to continue to hit in NWA?
Yeah, I am. So, yeah, it's a lot more lenient in that regard. We just want everyone to play if they can. So I'm continuing to hit in that. I'm continuing to hit in fast-paced tournaments and leagues that I'm in as well. The styles are really the pain comes from running or in just the instability in general. Like I can't really push off the leg very well. So that's why I'm not hitting them, which sucks because I really feel like I was starting to get a hang of it a little bit better. But NWA I'm still hitting. Fast pitch stuff I'm still hitting, which is great because I love hitting and it's great I can still kind of do that.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in. I want to thank Pat one more time for taking the time out of his day to come here on the channel. Obviously, it's going to be a really packed out, exciting Slate 5. So if you guys want to see some MLW content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down below as well if you want to follow me on there. We're starting to post more content on there as well. I appreciate y'all and peace.